Run defense. The Indianapolis Colts run defense has been efficient and well-structured, showing strong gap control and leverage discipline inside while allowing some production outside the tackles. Against inside runs or rushing plays between the offensive tackles, opponents have attempted 55 runs, producing only 31.3 yards per game and 3.4 yards per carry. 2 rushing touchdowns have been allowed, but the expected points added per rush is negative 0.20, meaning Indianapolis consistently decreases offensive efficiency on these plays. They have generated negative rushing yards over expected, totaling negative 28 and averaging negative 0.52 per attempt, indicating that runners gain less than expected due to strong interior penetration. A stuff rate of 18.2% confirms that nearly 1 in every 5 runs is stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage, a hallmark of stout interior play. In contrast, outside runs, those directed toward the edges, have been less consistent. Opponents have attempted 77 such runs for 65.3 yards per game and 5.1 yards per carry, scoring 1 touchdown. The expected points added per rush is slightly positive at plus 0.05, and the rushing yards over expected per attempt is also plus 0.05, suggesting that edge containment has occasionally broken down. The defense has allowed 14 runs of 10 or more yards, which signals an area for improvement in maintaining outside leverage and pursuit angles. The Colts have also performed well against the run in light box situations, where there are fewer than 7 defenders near the line of scrimmage. On 54 such rushing attempts, Indianapolis has given up 38.3 yards per game and 4.3 yards per carry with no touchdowns allowed. The expected points added per rush remains negative at minus 0.10, and the rushing yards over expected per attempt is minus 0.31. This efficiency suggests that the defense maintains gap integrity and effective tackling even when aligned in lighter defensive fronts. Overall, the Colts' run defense is characterized by dominant interior play and disciplined structure, forcing negative efficiency between the tackles and even holding up in lighter personnel groupings. The primary vulnerability remains outside the tackles, where opponents have found space to break contain and produce explosive gains. The Colts are disciplined and efficient in neutral fronts, generating negative EPA while maintaining good control at the line of scrimmage. The 4.3 yards per carry is acceptable given their balanced coverage shells. However, the relatively high yards after contact signal room for improvement in finishing tackles, especially on outside zone or perimeter runs. In contrast to their neutral box success, the Colts' stacked box fronts have struggled situationally, allowing positive EPA despite suppressing raw yardage and limiting explosive runs. This implies opponents are capitalizing on play design or down distance context, e.g. to short yardage or goal line runs, where efficiency metrics weigh heavily. The Indianapolis Colts run defense through 6 games demonstrates strong structural discipline in neutral boxes, producing negative EPA and solid stop rates despite moderate YAC numbers. Stacked fronts underperform in efficiency, hinting that the defense may overcommit resources against the run without net improvement. The team's best results come from staying balanced, using their 7 defender boxes effectively to contain ground games while preserving pass coverage integrity. In essence, Indianapolis performs better in base run defense concepts than in heavy box alignments, a reflection of trust in their front 7's cohesion and gap integrity rather than brute force numbers near the line of scrimmage. Overall defensive profile. Through 6 games, the Indianapolis Colts defense has built its identity around pressure-driven disruption and interior strength. When the front 7 generates pressure, the defense becomes elite, allowing minimal yardage and forcing negative offensive efficiency. Without it, the secondary becomes more exposed, particularly in short passing and outside run situations. The defense's interior run performance is among the best in the league, consistently holding opponents to below expected yardage, while the pass rush under pressure has been outstanding with an 18.6% sack rate and severely limited efficiency for opposing quarterbacks. The 2 key areas for improvement are reducing cushion against short passes and tightening edge discipline against perimeter runs. Altogether, the 2025 Colts defense through Week 6 represents a high-ceiling, aggressive, and complementary unit built around pass-rush synergy and sound tackling. When the defensive line controls the line of scrimmage, this group performs at a championship caliber level. Colts pass rush has shown moments of strong disruption, but remains somewhat top-heavy, relying heavily on its primary defensive linemen. The group has generated a consistent level of quarterback pressure, but has struggled to convert those pressures into sacks. Overall, the Colts rank around the middle of the league in quarterback pressure percentage and sack efficiency, showing a defensive front that wins individual matchups but lacks consistent closing ability. The heart of the Colts pass rush continues to be defensive tackle DeForest Buckner, who leads the team with 172 pass rush snaps. Buckner has recorded 1 sack and 18 total quarterback pressures, producing a quarterback pressure rate of 10.5%. His average time to pressure is 3.26 seconds, and his get-off, the time it takes to initiate movement after the snap, is an impressive 1.02 seconds. While his sack total is modest, Buckner's consistent interior disruption forces opposing quarterbacks to adjust their reads and helps open opportunities for edge rushers. On the edge, Kwity Paye has emerged as the Colts' top finisher. Through 6 games, he has recorded 3 sacks, the most on the team, along with a quarterback pressure rate of 8.9% over 123 pass rush snaps. His average time to pressure is 3.45 seconds, showing a solid balance between speed and power off the edge. Paye's ability to finish plays complements Buckner's interior dominance, making the duo a reliable combination in the Colts' front four. Rookie edge defender Laiatu Latu has quickly proven to be a difference maker. He has generated 19 total quarterback pressures on 123 pass rush snaps, leading the team with a 15.4% pressure rate. He has 1 sack and an average time to pressure of 4.61 seconds, which indicates that his success comes more from effort and technique than instant burst. His early impact provides a promising sign for the future of the Colts' pass rush rotation. Defensive tackle Grover Stewart has contributed primarily as a run defender, but has still seen significant pass rush work, logging 119 snaps in those situations. His 5 total pressures give him a modest 4.2% pressure rate, underscoring his role as a space eater rather than a consistent pocket disruptor. His value remains in controlling interior gaps and helping set up one-on-one matchups for Buckner and Paye. Beyond the main 4 rushers, Indianapolis has also used selective blitzing with strong results. Linebacker Zaire Franklin has rushed the passer 33 times, creating 6 pressures for a pressure rate of 18.2%. Excellent for a non-edge player. Safety Nick Cross has been even more efficient, producing 6 pressures on 18 blitz attempts for a 33.3% rate, one of the highest on the team. These situational blitzes have proven effective in catching offenses off guard and disguising the Colts' coverage schemes. Rotational players such as Samson Ebukam and Tyquan Lewis have chipped in as secondary edge rushers, maintaining pressure rates between 8 and 17%. However, depth production remains an issue. When the Colts rotate their starters off the field, the overall pass rush output declines noticeably, leaving them reliant on star power rather than a deep rotation. Tactically, defensive coordinator Gus Bradley has emphasized a 4-man rush with limited blitz frequency. The Colts rely on their front 4, Buckner, Paye, Latu, and Stewart, to generate most of the pressure while linebackers and defensive backs provide coverage support. When blitzes are called, they are typically timed well and executed by athletic players like Franklin or Cross, which helps increase disruption without exposing coverage vulnerabilities. In summary, the Indianapolis Colts pass rush is effective but lacks balance. DeForest Buckner remains the cornerstone of the unit with consistent interior pressure. Kwity Paye is developing into a reliable edge finisher, while rookie Laiatu Latu offers high-efficiency disruption that bodes well for the team's future. The Colts' defense gets solid spot contributions from blitzing linebackers and safeties, but it still struggles with depth and sack conversion. The unit has the potential to be one of the more efficient fronts in the league if it can finish plays more consistently and generate complementary pressure behind its top producers.